Welcome back
to
for the
nerd. Building on how early the colonial elites created whiteness to divide the laboring classes, modern white supremacist elites still exploit that division. As Lyndon B. Johnson said in 1965, if you can't convince the lowest white man that he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice that he's been clobbered by legislation. In other words, if working class whites believe their superiority, they'll overlook policies that harm them both. Since the Reagan era, conservative politicians use welfare queen rhetoric, portraying black single mothers as the cause of physical problems to justify cutting social programs that benefit poor and working class families of all races. Meanwhile, union jobs evaporated, wages stagnated, and the gap between rich and poor widened. Between 1979 and 2017, CEO compensations grew by 940%, while typical worker compensation grew only 12%. Yet polling shows many poor white voters supported candidates who championed tax cuts for the wealthy because those politicians promised to preserve their cultural status over black communities. In the Appalachia and the Rust Belt, poor white communities hit hardest by the factory closures were targeted by political messaging blaming takers, i.e. black residents. Despite data showing these regions lose jobs due to automation and corporate decisions, not welfare fraud. In 2016, exit polls found that 61% of white voters without a college degree supported Donald Trump, even though his policies like repealing the Affordable Care Act, Medicare, Medicaid expansion would have harmed rural white populations disproportionately. This tactic, offering low-level white supremacists a sense of superiority over black people, ensures they never band together with black communities around shared economic grievances. Sometimes the clearest way to see a hidden system is through stories we already know. Let's look at a few pop culture analogies that reveal how white supremacy operates. Imagine Martin Luther King Jr. as Luke Skywalker, leading the movement, grounded in hope, justice, and community. Darth Vader becomes the face of white supremacy's machinery, powerful, intimidating, masked in neutral language, and constantly extending its control. Like Luke, Dr. King fought an empire of segregation, legal violence, and social control. He wasn't battling just a few bad apples. He stood against a system demanding total loyalty and punishing dissent. Darth Vader's helmet hides his human face. White supremacy hides behind colorblind laws, coded phrases, and the myth of objective fairness. When a black activist speaks truth to power, white supremacists label them rebels, causing trouble, just as the Empire brands the Rebel Alliance. Online, you'll notice concerned trolls who present themselves as defenders of true history, accusing black Americans of exaggerating or inventing racism. They function like stormtroopers, policing any challenge to the status quo. When black creators critique systematic racism, these empire loyalists demand proof, refuse to see evidence, or drop reverse racism labels, a tactic to protect white supremacy. In Star Wars terms, they deny the Death Star's existence, even as it vaporizes entire planets. Let's take it to the real world. Johnny Depp versus Jonathan Majors. When Amber Heard accused Johnny Depp of domestic violence, many popular YouTube channels instantly rallied behind Johnny Depp, dismissing Heard's claims and producing videos insisting he was innocent. Contrast that with spring 2023, when black actor Jonathan Majors was accused of assault. Those same commentators refused to believe him, trending #FreeJonathanMajors, echoing Johnny Depp is innocent. Even as credible court testimony emerges, Majors' charges were ultimately dropped, but the online hostility towards black victims remains stark. In The Matrix, Neo awakens from manufactured reality that keeps humans subjugated. White supremacy does something similar by feeding us myths, a post-racial meritocracy, and all men are created equal, while black people remain tethered to underfunded schools, over-policed neighborhoods, and economic exclusion. Why these analogies matter? They show white supremacy as an interconnected system, not just isolated bad actors. When nerds deny systematic racism, they act as propagandists, protecting an illusion of virtue over confronting real struggles.
Live it up now, we don't take no shit, no shit. Live it up now, we don't take no shit, no shit.